This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Prime. In association with Micromax. Nothing like anything.
Murderously powerful GL63 AMG. A look at Volvo's future designs. And it's the winner of our CNB Viewers' Choice two-wheeler contest. Hi folks, and welcome to a brand new episode of CNB. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Partnikar. This week we're coming to you from inside a car plant, something that so many of you write in and always ask for. It is the Mercedes-Benz India plant just outside of Pune in Sakand, and we've got lots that we'll show you from here, everything that happens in here in terms of the assembly process. You'll get a few glimpses of that. Now this plant rolls out 5 different models. As you can see, I'm at the very end of that line where the cars roll out into the real world. So we'll show you those glimpses as I promised, and we're going to start though by talking about a car that isn't made at this plant, but it's related to all of these products. It is that very hot, very powerful beast of an engine. The car I'm talking about is the GL63 AMG.
It's big, it's brutal, and it's now in India. The GL63 AMG has been launched just last week at 1,69 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi. And now we'll tell you just why it costs so much.
I remember having this thought a few years ago when I had the chance to drive the X6M from BMW. Take a massive SUV and then plonk a massive engine into it. Is it really necessary? So does anyone outside of a filthy rich Arab sheikh really want a car like that? Well, it's the same sort of proposition here with the GL now, isn't it? You've got the 3 rows of seats, you've got all that luxury piled in, you've got the massive bulk, and you've got that huge V8 right here under the hood waiting to pounce. So do you really need a car like that on the roads? But you know what? It's not always just about what I think. It's where the market's going. Now, for heaven's sakes, folks, it's a trend we are seeing all over the world. Most of the manufacturers are accepting it as well. I mean, there's a reason why Lamborghini is doing an SUV, right? This is a sporty, yet perhaps, I hate to use it, but practical kind of a vehicle. That's what people want. A lot of buyers are ready to shell out that kind of money. So like I said, it's not about trying to appease my sensibilities. It's about going after where the market is, and that's what Mercedes-Benz has done with the GL63. So you do, of course, have to add a little bit extra. You can't just put in the extra engine there. You've got to say that, look, it has to look a little bit sexier and look worth that kind of money. So which is where the AMG trim, besides the AMG engine, does the trick. You get a few of those elements, really sharp, slick-looking alloys, bigger wheels as well, and the roof rails, and the face too. So you've got these elements down here, the little scuff plate, the extra sort of break in the monotony of this massive bulk. It does help. It makes the car look a little more agile. And you know what? Anywhere where you see that AMG badging, whether it's in the alloys or the quad tailpipes at the rear, well, it tells you again that this car is ready for some action, because it's not just a trim. It's also got the massive engine, and you got badging out here that tells you that too.
Right, so the AMG badging is screaming performance, so let's get it out there. The GL63 is fun right away. You get lulled into thinking this is just a big SUV, and then just a tap on the accelerator and there is an urgency to its response. So while the regular GL350 CDI may seem ample enough, it's this massive 5.5-litre unit that really has the grunt. The figures speak for themselves, don't they? The engine cover, by the way, is finished in carbon fiber for that extra touch of sportiness and also a high-end feel.
Now, of course, this is a huge vehicle, and so you feel that bulk when you're driving. You do realize that you're pulling along all this metal with you, even though you're doing it fairly effortlessly. And that's the part you all want to know, isn't it? Besides the fact that you feel the roll of the SUV, what about the performance? How fast can it go? So, I talked about the bulk. Now, despite the weight, yeah, here it comes. It does 0 to 100 in 4.9 seconds. Thank you very much. That is seriously fast.
And that's right up there with the supercharged Range Rover, folks. The car is stable too, despite all of that weight, and the 7-speed gearbox has been mated to the engine very well. Put the car in sport mode and the upshifts are a pleasure. Slam the gas pedals and the snorts on downshift are even better. There is a comfort mode as well, but that's for soccer moms.
Now, when I spend all this money and I get me all these horses, I don't just want them to neigh, I want them to growl. Now, the engineers at AMG have done that part right, because guess what? This car sounds every bit the monster that it is. You ready? Oh yeah.
See, it's a sports SUV, really, and gets you the luxurious touches like ambient lighting, leather seats and infotainment for all the occupants, courtesy a Harman Kardon sound and entertainment system, start-stop and a start button, a panoramic sunroof, sports seats with massage function for the front 2 occupants, and loads more options. The boot is massive and the third row of seats can be folded or unfolded electrically. The car is basically something you pamper yourself with if you land that big deal, have your movie enter the 100 crore club, or get signed up by one of the richest IPL teams. It's not for everybody, but for those who do get one, I beg you, drive this beast. Please don't waste it by getting into the second or third row.
Right, so a really hot car, and as you can see, I've sidestepped from the plant because in here is where you have got a lot of the AMG cars. I'm inside the center of excellence, as they call it here at the plant, and the idea is that you have a place where potential customers can actually come in and look at some of these high-end cars. So all the AMG models, the new S-Class, well, they're all here. So it's nice, it's pretty special, and for anybody who's a car nut, it's always great to be surrounded by all these cool cars. Right, now speaking of cool cars and something that's high-end, there's also a big change that we're seeing at Volvo globally. Now, the company has been in this sort of a mix of where its image needs to go. Does it need to just stay with the safety plank? Does it need to get a little bit younger? Or does it need to get more dynamic and sexier as well? Those are the kind of questions that the designers at Volvo have been grappling with. And there was a seminar that was held specifically towards Volvo design in Beijing just a few days ago. Kailash Menon was there.
Volvos were always seen as boxy yet practical, boring yet safe. That began to change when we saw the arrival of the first XC90 in 2003. Things began to get sexier with the new XC60. And then the latest generations of the S60 and now the V40 certainly had their share of flamboyance. But the overall image of Scandinavian style, or lack thereof, is about to change. The future lineup is all about being very attractive while retaining the values that people associate with Volvo. CNB travelled to Beijing recently to have a peek into what Volvo's up to. The first step was shown to us at the 2013 Frankfurt show with the concept coupe. It then wowed us with the chunky crossover concept at the Detroit Motor Show. And at Geneva this year, the Best of Show award went to the Estate concept.
Now, Volvo's design philosophy is pretty simple. They build cars that are designed around you. What that means is they do not build and develop cars and then you feature in the end. In fact, everything on their cars is derived from you, the driver. For example, the safety features, the technology, and the design itself. Apart from, looking prim and proper, the design has to serve a purpose and complement the customer.
So just what is Volvo's new design direction? Well, for starters, all three concepts have drawn inspiration from Scandinavia in keeping with Volvo's philosophy. On the design front, the concepts are pretty bold. The face is flamboyant, the T-shaped daytime running lights have drawn inspiration from Thor's mighty hammer and will now be the signature on all future Volvos. The floating grille, common on all three concepts, looks cool too. The sharp shoulder line blends in seamlessly into the tail lamp. Inside too, it's a whole new design story. Bits like the crystal gear knob and the glass button may or may not make it to production looking like that though. Looks subtle yet sassy. Volvo has announced its tie-up with Apple for its CarPlay interface, and it has done away with the buttons of yore and gone touchscreen for the multimedia and control screen. So it's a rather clutter-free cabin now. Perhaps more significant is the fact that the three concepts are built on Volvo's new scalable product architecture, which allows the company to have greater flexibility in designing and building future products with common parts. Only the length between the dash and the front axle is fixed on the SPA. All other dimensions can be modified to suit different design and comfort needs or vehicle body types, somewhat similar to Volkswagen's modular platform strategy MQB. The big question though is just how much of Volvo's concepts will seep into its production cars. Well, we certainly can't wait now, can we?
Alright, so we're back inside this plant. Of course, every time CNB brings you into a plant, we like to show you a lot of the manufacturing process. Behind me there, the engine is being prepped to go into the GL350. That's a 3-litre beast of an engine. It is the CDI, which is the diesel, and it's going to go into this car. Now, as I go into a very short break, I'm going to leave you with visuals of just how that happens. It's always special to watch that process. So take a look at that and join me after this short break. Welcome back to CNB. Now joining us, we have someone special. It is the MD and CEO of Mercedes-Benz India, Mr. Eberhard Kern. Eberhard, good to see you.
Good to see you, Sid.
And nice to see you in here for a change.
Yeah, welcome to the Mercedes-Benz factory here in Pune.
Thank you so much. It's been something we've been wanting to do on the show for some time. So it's nice to be in here. And like I said, we've always been meeting at all the launches the last few months now. Yes. So this is a little change of scene. But that's also because you've been doing so many launches, right? So it's been a busy time.
Yeah, it was quite a busy time, but I'm completely with you. I'm always happy to be here at our shop floor in the factory. You know, that's the real life where everything is going on. For example, here, the assembly of a new GL350 CDI.
Now, ever since you started this plant, the intent was always there that you're going to keep scaling it up. So already you're at about 10,000 units capacity. And you've got the new plant coming up, the next shop floor that's coming up. That's more or less ready? Should be ready soon?
Yeah, it is nearly done. We are in the final stage. You're right, this is actually a capacity of 10,000 units of cars, what we can produce in a year. The new paint shop, what we inaugurated 2 years back, is already at a capacity of 20,000, and now body shop and assembly will bring as well to the level of 20,000. It will be ready in a few weeks or maybe 2-3 months time. What makes us very much future ready? Today we assemble, as you probably know, the GL, the ML, the S-Class, the E-Class and the C-Class, and we are going to add more models to our Indian manufacturing.
That's something I've been asking you consistently. about, you know, when does the A and when does the B, and then of course in the future the CLA, the GLA, when do they start getting productionized? The reason I asked first about the A and B class is because those cars have been in the market for some time. So you'd like to ideally, I'm sure, start assembling them locally just to be able to gain a little more, you know, of a profitability angle to those cars as well.
Yeah, we take this decision very soon. It's not only the A and the B class. There are much more models out of this so-called new generation cars. We just showcased in February at the Auto Expo the CLA45 AMG. We showcased the new GLA. The new C-Class is around the corner. So you see the portfolio, the global portfolio of Mercedes-Benz is getting more and more attractive, and what we will do, we pick out of this portfolio those cars what fit best to the Indian market.
But you know, having the plant is one thing, getting a guaranteed supply of kits from the headquarters is another, because a lot of these models we're talking about are very popular outside India too. I mean, the GLA has taken off now, the CLA has already done well. So, so what is the promise or the assurance from headquarters when it comes to that supply?
Yeah, very luckily Mercedes-Benz globally is in high demand. We just had the best year ever. Last quarter was the best quarter ever. Last month, March, was the best month ever globally. So there is quite a good development overall globally.
So how does India get the priority then in that scenario?
You know, I'm really convinced that what happened the last 18 months will continue into the future. We are in the focus, we are on the global landscape. India is one of those countries. India is one of those countries where we developed a strategy called Mercedes-Benz India 2020. So we have regular exchange even with the board in Stuttgart, in Germany. And what I experienced so far is a lot of support. Whatever wish and idea we have, our colleagues over there in headquarters not only listen to us, they even try to make it happen, and they made it happen in several cases, and this is going to continue. India is one of the future Mercedes-Benz markets, and we have all the priority. We need to take it there.
With the new C-Class, of course, when it does come, you might probably have some of those guys wanting to drive themselves, because you know the car is again a little bit more dynamic. This growing segment of buyers, which is choosing to drive the car themselves and not get into the back. That's of course a good thing for any car maker, but how do you specifically address that at the dealer end? I mean, is there a different way of approaching that customer to try and emphasize the drivability factor of these cars?
Sid, usually the most convincing argument to go for a Mercedes-Benz is just as a test drive. And that's what our dealers are providing anyway. We support this additionally by a number of marketing actions, what will happen out there at our dealerships in the different cities of India. We will have a so-called AMG performance tour where we take not only the, let's say, normal Mercedes-Benz portfolio out to our potential customers, but as well the AMG range. And as soon as CLA is available and GLA will be available, of course we add those cars to this AMG performance tour. It is the best way to experience a Mercedes-Benz.
That's great to know. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, and great to be with you in the plant today.
Appreciate that. Here. Come soon back.
And I'm sure viewers will be very happy to hear that last bit, especially that the focus on India remains the India strategy when it comes to Mercedes-Benz very much intact. Thanks again, everyone.
That's it. Thank you.
So now I want to talk about something that's very close to our heart, because we're talking about the CNB Viewers' Choice Contest that happens along with our awards every year. You remember the Auto Expo, we declared the winners. Now it's time for you to meet them. We've got the CNB Viewers' Choice Two-Wheeler of the Year contest winner in Bangalore with Bala and his brand new TVS Jupiter.
The CNB Viewers' Choice Awards for both cars and two-wheelers sees an overwhelming response every year, with viewers getting to vote for their favorite products of the year. And like every year, we had a winner in each category. In the two-wheeler category, for the first time, it was a scooter, the TVS Jupiter, that beat all the other nominees. The very lucky CNB viewer who turned winner is retired entrepreneur and avid viewer of CNB for the last 10 years, Abraham Cherian. 50-year-old Abraham is a Keralite who has made Bangalore his home and uses his current scooter to run daily errands with an average use of 30 kilometers per day. With a 22-year-old son in the family, Abraham plans to give the new Jupiter to him. Meanwhile, back at the showroom, Abraham's new ride is getting a final sprucing up before being handed over to its new owner. Abraham then gets a quick run-through on the Jupiter from the showroom staff, and he seems impressed with the features on the scooter.
I feel so much excited to be winning this TVS Jupiter. Then I thank NDTV Car and Bike show for the opportunity given to its viewers to participate in this.
Having ridden in Bangalore for over 10 years, riding the Jupiter was quite easy for Abraham. He was enjoying his first ride on the bike and looked like he might have second thoughts about giving the scooter to his son.
What do you enjoy about the bike?
A nice pickup and a comfortable suspension and all.
Okay, so my guess is going to be right that you're possibly going to use this more than your son.
Yeah, most probably.
Okay, good luck and enjoy your bike.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
We wish Abraham and his family a safe and happy time with their new Jupiter. Many congratulations from all of us. Remember, you always win big with CNB.
Alright, so you really be good. Well, some of us do this, we're car nuts, we talk to cars. Doesn't make us completely crazy. I was just telling the car, it's getting out into the real world now, so be good. Even if you have a complete lunatic for a driver, be good, drive safe. Alright, so let's let it go and say goodbye to the car. And with that, I'm also going to say goodbye to you. Remember, there's always going to be plenty more action that's going to be on the program. Next week, we bring you the very hot and very powerful Audi RS7. So something for you to look forward to. And of course, as always, a request, please wear your seat belts, please wear your helmets. Bye-bye.